The year is 1939, a year that will forever change the course of history. Germany, still scarred by the First World War, plunges into another global conflict. The memories of past devastation linger, but the nation is driven by a new, fervent ambition. Fueled by nationalist fervor and Hitler's promises of a glorious future, the nation is transformed into a war machine. The streets echo with the sounds of marching boots and roaring speeches. Factories churn out tanks and planes instead of cars and toys. The industrial might of Germany is repurposed for war, with assembly lines working around the clock. Men, young and old, are swept up in the tide of conscription, leaving behind families and loved ones. The emotional farewells are a stark reminder of the personal cost of war. Germany is at war. The initial victories against Poland and France fuel a wave of euphoria. The swift and decisive conquests bolster national pride and confidence. The propaganda machine works tirelessly, painting a picture of an invincible Germany destined for greatness. Posters and newsreels glorify the military achievements, instilling a sense of invulnerability. Yet beneath the surface of this manufactured confidence, a darker reality is taking shape. Families worry about their loved ones on the front lines, and the strain of war begins to show. The war will demand immense sacrifices from every citizen, testing their resilience and shaping their lives in unimaginable ways. The true cost of this conflict will be felt in every home, every street, and every heart across the nation. As the war drags on, the initial excitement wanes. The realities of a war economy begin to bite, and the German home front becomes increasingly austere. Rationing is introduced, limiting access to essential goods. Families are issued ration cards, meticulously controlling their consumption of food, clothing, and fuel. Gone are the days of abundant meals and readily available necessities. Long queues become a common sight, as people patiently wait their turn to purchase meager rations. Housewives become masters of improvisation, stretching limited ingredients into edible meals. Resourcefulness and ingenuity become essential survival skills. The skies above German cities transform into terrifying canvases of fire and destruction. Allied bombing raids, relentless and unforgiving, reduce once vibrant urban centers to rubble. The earth trembles under the weight of exploding bombs, and the air fills with the acrid smell of smoke and dust. Civilians huddle in makeshift shelters, seeking refuge from the relentless onslaught. Fear becomes a constant companion, as the line between day and night blurs under the shadow of war. The physical and psychological scars of these bombings will forever mark the lives of those who endured them. In an atmosphere of fear and uncertainty, the Nazi propaganda machine tightens its grip. Radio broadcasts, newspapers, and films are saturated with messages designed to maintain morale and quell dissent. Victories are exaggerated, defeats are downplayed, and the enemy is demonized. The constant barrage of propaganda weaves a narrative of fear and paranoia, turning neighbor against neighbor. Suspicion and distrust flourish as people are encouraged to report any sign of dissent or defeatism. The human cost of this propaganda war is immeasurable, eroding trust and sowing the seeds of division within German society. Section 5. The Invisible Front: Women's Roles and Struggles. With millions of men away fighting, German women find themselves thrust into unfamiliar roles. They become the backbone of the home front, keeping the factories running, the fields cultivated, and the families fed. They take on jobs traditionally held by men, operating machinery, driving trams, and working in munitions factories. Despite their invaluable contributions, women face immense challenges. They grapple with long hours, grueling work, and the constant fear for the safety of their loved ones on the front lines. They bear the burden of maintaining a semblance of normalcy amidst the chaos, providing strength and solace to their families. Section 6. From Triumph to Terror: The Shifting Tides of Public Morale. The early years of the war are marked by a sense of national unity and unwavering belief in victory. As the tide begins to turn, however, cracks appear in the facade of invincibility. Military setbacks, mounting casualties, and the increasing hardships of daily life take their toll on public morale. The once unquestioning faith in Hitler's leadership begins to waver. doubt creeps in, fueled by whispers of defeat and the undeniable evidence of their crumbling cities. The propaganda machine struggles to maintain its grip as the reality of the situation becomes impossible to ignore. Section 7. The Scars of War, Long-Term Impacts on German Society. The war's end in 1945 leaves Germany in ruins. Cities lie in rubble, the economy is shattered, and the social fabric is torn apart. The physical and psychological scars of the conflict run deep, shaping the nation's identity for generations to come. The legacy of the Nazi regime casts a long shadow, forcing Germans to confront the horrors of their recent past. The process of rebuilding is arduous, both physically and emotionally, yet from the ashes of destruction a new Germany emerges, determined to learn from the mistakes of the past and build a more peaceful future. Section 8. Echoes of the Past. Lessons for the Future. The German experience during World War II serves as a stark reminder of the devastating consequences of unchecked nationalism, blind obedience, and the suppression of truth. It highlights the fragility of peace and the importance of safeguarding democratic values. The echoes of this dark chapter in human history continue to resonate today, urging us to be vigilant against the forces of hatred, intolerance, and authoritarianism. By remembering the past and understanding its lessons, we can strive to create a world where such horrors are never repeated. Section 9. A World Divided, the Global Consequences of War. The Second World War was not just a conflict confined to the battlefields of Europe and the Pacific, it was a cataclysmic event that reverberated across the entire globe. World War II's impact extended far beyond the borders of Germany. Cities were reduced to rubble and millions of lives were uprooted. The war left an indelible mark on the social and economic fabric of nations. It reshaped the geopolitical landscape, leading to the emergence of the United States and the Soviet Union as superpowers. These two nations, once allies, soon found themselves in a tense standoff that would dominate global politics for decades. It also paved the way for the Cold War, a period of intense ideological and geopolitical rivalry that shaped the latter half of the 20th century. The world was divided into two camps, each vying for influence and control. The war's devastating consequences underscored the need for international cooperation and the establishment of institutions dedicated to maintaining peace and security. The Nuremberg trial sought justice for war crimes, while the Bretton Woods Conference aimed to stabilize the global economy. The formation of the United Nations in 1945 represented a collective effort to prevent future conflicts and foster global dialogue and understanding. This new international body was tasked with the monumental responsibility of ensuring that the horrors of war would never be repeated. Section 10. The Price of Peace, Rebuilding and Reconciliation. The aftermath of World War II presented a monumental challenge for Germany and the world. Rebuilding shattered infrastructure, economies and societies required immense effort, resources and international collaboration. The process of reconciliation was equally challenging. Addressing the atrocities committed during the war, particularly the Holocaust, demanded a profound reckoning with the past. Germany embarked on a path of acknowledging its responsibility, offering reparations and seeking forgiveness from those who suffered under Nazi rule. Section 11. Never Again. Remembering the Past, Shaping the Future. This chapter delves into the profound impact of World War II on our collective consciousness and the enduring lessons it imparts. The lessons of World War II continue to shape our understanding of conflict, peace, and the importance of human rights. The devastation and loss experienced during this period have left an indelible mark on history, reminding us of the dire consequences of unchecked aggression and intolerance. The stories of those who endured the horrors of war serve as powerful reminders of the human cost of conflict and the fragility of peace. These personal accounts filled with pain and resilience highlight the need for empathy and the protection of human dignity in times of crisis. By remembering the past, honoring the sacrifices of those who came before us, and working towards a more just and equitable world, we can honor their memory and strive to ensure that such atrocities are never repeated. Memorials and commemorations serve as poignant reminders of our shared history and the collective responsibility we bear. The pursuit of peace, justice, and understanding remains an ongoing endeavor, demanding constant vigilance and unwavering commitment from all. It is through education, dialogue, and cooperation that we can build a future where the horrors of the past are not forgotten but serve as a foundation for a more harmonious world.